And I think what
Right.
one of the things you
And
said about belief, talking about religious belief, for me, I prefer the word faith for that because it's belief without evidence,
right,
as opposed to
right.
a belief that is the belief when you get on an airplane that it's going to be okay. That's a pretty well supported belief. There's a lot of
Right.
reason and
Yep.
evidence to
Right.
believe that that's true.
Right. Right. I agree with you. And it just, I wanted to use it because I didn't want just to be divisive. In my book, I use that because I don't want to just be divisive about religion. But yeah, religion or faith is, I remember my mom as a Catholic growing up, you have to have faith on me. And I'm like, really? I do? I have to? What's going to make me have to do that? And I was just in butt enough of a 13-year-old to have that conversation, but also, that has been very helpful to me to parse through how to depend on certain information versus not depend on certain information.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think the and this is for me ideas, right? Is that the a religious narrative.
mhm,
Let's just let's we're here in the United States of America, so let's say the religious narrative of the resurrection of Jesus, right? That he rose from the dead. If you accept that as a literal truth, you
mhm,
dogmatically accept that as a literal truth, that's a lot different from saying that that story of redemption and the Sermon on the Mount being a guidebook for how to live a moral and ethical life. If you don't accept that as literal truth, and any other story that conflicts with it as a falsehood, and perhaps even one worthy of killing them, or having some big fight over it, well, then to me, that's totally fine. I mean, I would even say that about something like astrology. There's a really interesting poll that I read where there's this huge concern about young people believing in astrology. But when you drilled into it a little bit more, they don't literally believe that their lives are affected by the position of the planets and
mhm,
stars. And not to put too fine a point on it, the position of the
mhm,
planets and stars 2,000 years ago, not today.
right, right,
But it gives them a framework. It gives them it's something that's kind of and so is that really a problem? I think only if you believe it dogmatically. People, love Star Wars. There's a Church of the Jedi. It really exists. They get the U.S. tax break and the whole deal. There's this moral framework that they get out of that, and that doesn't really bother people because everyone kind of knows. Well, they don't really believe that is literally true. Although I suspect some of them do. You
right.
know what I mean? So to me, that's the difference between religion and dogma. I don't think religion, and I say this in my book over and over again, religion and reason are not antithetical to each other. It's dogma that is.